Welcome to episode 7 of Portal Talks with me, your host, Kyle Waugh. Today's guest is Tom Fields of Financial Fitness with Tom. We dive into all things finances and how that relates to the fitness industry and the discipline you need in both budgeting as well as with an exercise program. We'll also jump into some of the different programs that Tom has. He has some tips for just how to save some money, while I go on a couple rants about how really fitness and finances are a lot, like just very, very similar. And that if your finances are on point, then you're only going to have an easier time sticking to your fitness goals. So let's dive right into it. It's Portal PT Talk. Or Portal Talks as I changed it, whatever. But this is my podcast where we just talk about anything fitness, health, all that stuff related. And then I think adding in the financial piece, which is always awkward and people don't like to talk about it, but it's something that like is it's necessary. You have to like be structured with all this.
Yeah. And honestly, one, hey, I appreciate you bringing me on. And that's a great point because I think finance and money, and actually fitness and what you do tie in perfectly together. So, hopefully we can dive into that. It both requires extreme diligence. You gotta be consistent with both. And honestly, if you are consistent with both, just like when you get on a roll at the gym, if you get on a roll with your finances, you feel great and it becomes addictive. And man, I'm pumped to be on here. So thanks.
Well, I always like to think of it as they seem separate, but they both feed into each other. Like,
yeah,
if you have more money, you can take better care of yourself and invest in better quality food and, better gym or whatever that's going to help facilitate that lifestyle. And whereas like the fitness is also like, okay, if I'm eating, sleeping, I'm doing my thing, I'm strong, like I can invest back into my financials, which is I'm working better. I can get a promotion. I can do all this stuff. And that's how I've been looking at it. And it's just made more and more sense to me over time. But
yeah. So, I mean, I've always, I guess I've always loved finances and I've always loved, working out and health. And I guess, I've been on a pretty strict schedule with working out for a while. I wake up in the morning, and the reason I get after in the morning is so I just have that natural energy to carry me through the day. I think you're right. I mean, people, they think about, when someone comes to you as a client and they say, I want to lose, like 10, 15 pounds, whatever it is. You're never going to tell them, oh yeah, maybe we can do that in a week or two. I mean, could you just be lying? Right. And, I just think it's funny when I see some commercials and stuff about weight loss. It is a long journey. And same with finance. And, that's kind of really how I stand, my brand. It's just kind of bringing it down to the fundamentals. Just like if you were going to try to, lose weight, you wouldn't just go out and buy supplements and, it's going to take care of that for you. I mean, you got to put in the damn work. And I just think, there are two subjects that go completely together. And it's not, obviously the fitness aspect is talked about a whole lot more. People are like pumped to get on and flex for the IG, but I'm trying to make people flex their wallet, and that's what we're doing.
Dude, I love it. I like the idea of putting in the work, and that's something that it's also like, at least from a, like, again, it's funny, like connecting like the fitness and the financials, but it's something that's counterintuitive. I think, like, our brains don't want to put in work into something unless it's like something immediate.
Yeah.
And also plus, we got like cell phones and stuff, which literally like wire our brain to be like, scroll, scroll,
Instant,
scroll.
instant, instant. Yeah,
Exactly. And all
it
this like
is.
this dopamine, man. But like being able to just like see the long term and like just grind is something like, I don't know. I know you and I are both like on the same wavelength about that, but it does take work, man. Like with anything, like it just, if you're going to be truly successful at something, you have to freaking grind.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
no, but but also know how to put that grind towards something that's efficient and that's going to, use your time as wisely as possible, not just like, yeah, like you said, commercials,
Yeah.
all that crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
No. Yeah. No, you're right. It is. It's a. It is such a grind. I mean, I've been doing, workouts and working on my health for 6 years, like at least. And I've been getting better and better. It's not, I mean, yeah, sometimes you have setbacks, and same with finance. So I talk with clients, we set up plans. We can get into kind of what financial fitness is all about here in a
Right.
little bit, but just in general, talking about, like you said, that grind. It's so hard to stay consistent. It's so hard to make sure you're eating correctly and not blowing out your macros with your fitness goals. And it's so hard to make sure that your budget's intact and you're not going out and you're spending money where you shouldn't be. Because the great thing about building wealth is the earlier you get involved and the more you are consistent in the market, I mean, you can grow to be extraordinarily wealthy. And that's why I say it's bullshit, the people that, blame their lack of savings on income. Dude, get out of here. I mean, it's just like, it's just like the same thing for people that I go to the gym, 5 days a week, and I still got a beer belly. Why do you got a beer belly? Because you're drinking beer. You know what I mean? Why don't you have savings? Because you're spending all your money. I mean, it's like, it's not the income, it's the expenses that people have to start focusing on. And that's what we're doing with financial fitness, is we're just kind of, we're uncovering that onion, we're peeling it back, and we're getting to, the problem, and that's people's budget and lack of education within the investment world.
Right. And let's dive in. So we just like jumped into this. I didn't even like, this is Tom, by the way.
Yeah.
This is Tom with Financial Fitness. And Tom is like been a good friend of mine. We're go back to fraternity days
Yeah.
back at university and all that. But Tom is a financial planner, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. And then he's got his own little business going called Financial Fitness, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
appreciate it, Kyle.
Yeah,
Man,
man. Tell me more about
it's
like what you said you're flexing your wallet, you're building education and budgets. Like, dude, talk about it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I graduated obviously UK with a finance degree. Always knew I wanted to go into this type of business. I work for a independent advisory firm. We manage about $1 billion. So I mean, that's the big boy, and that's kind of where all this started for me, and where I was able to learn for majority of my career. But what I realized is that our generation, so millennials, we are the generation of like the credit card and social media. And when you combine both of those together, it's trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like, just like you said, instant gratification. People are just unhinged with spending. And we have a serious issue in our generation, and that's because we're not doing the right things right now to allow us to live the life we want to live later on. And everyone has been told, hey, you got to save for retirement. But when I was talking with individuals, it was always how do I save, and how do I get started? And I've realized that the financial advisory world, the average financial advisor is 55 years old. Okay. So they're way beyond the start of their career. They have a very mature book of business, and it's so hard to approach a financial advisor when you're our age, because there's snakes in the grass in that business, just like anything else. There's bad people, so you got to make sure you're doing your homework. We could talk about that later, but the point is that it's just a hard barrier of entry. I mean, there's really no education out there. The industry is very much fragmented. If you were to Google, how to save, you're going to get like 10 different answers. So so really that was the inception of Financial Fitness with Tom. And this is just a platform that I've developed that we're doing two things. We're fixing people's budgets, and then we're providing investment education. So once your budget is fixed, once you have that cash flow available, which everyone can get to, I mean, it just requires work. Once you have that cash flow available, I'm giving you the tools from an educational standpoint, so you can start making those decisions that are going to better your life. So it's kind of a two-step process. My motto is building stronger individuals through budgeting and financial education. And again, it correlates just with fitness and working out. Yeah. I mean, you're doing great things with your clients. Whether that's improved flexibility or just making people more confident in their movements. It just starts with the education, and then just being consistent and knowing what to do for yourself.
Well, and I mean, the more you're like talking about it, the more I'm like hearing, the fitness world, like it's all muddled, like you said, fragmented, all that. You do the same thing, like, how do I squat? How do I do this? If I Google it, it's going to be everyone and their mother's opinion.
Yeah.
But it's like, man,
exactly.
like, how can we like get true education out there that's actually going to better people and their situations that they're actually in right now? And I think you do a good job, like you said, of like covering specific, like, hey, here's this demographic, they need this kind of help right here, right now. And go ahead.
Yeah. It's, and I think the great thing about millennials, I mean, us, is like we are no doubt going to be the leaders of this country here. I mean, I think our generation's so powerful, revolutionary. I mean, companies that have been started by our generation are the front runners. I mean, you think about like the Jack Dorsey at Twitter and the Mark Zuckerberg and all these other companies, younger CEOs and Snapchat, all that good stuff. Well, we have the ability to really change our country for the better, but I think we also have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And it just comes down to knowing what to do and being comfortable with this thing called personal finance. And it's an uncomfortable subject. People don't like to talk about it. You get on social media and you see what looks like instant success, but that's some bullshit. There ain't no instant success. Just like, you see people working out and they got a six pack, they can get that from just doing, little, flares or kicker flares, whatever, I mean, they're doing other things that get them that look. So it's, it's just about being honest and really taking control.
Yeah. How do you provide like resources right now? Like, I know you've been doing like a lot of like online videos and stuff like that. How does the education look like?
Yeah. So again, like when I was thinking about financial fitness, I was just like, man, this just correlates with working out. And I just love going in the gym and giving it all I got and leaving a better individual every day. And so when I started financial fitness, there's two programs. There's Budget Boot Camp, and then there's HIT, which stands for High Intensity Investment Training. So Budget Boot Camp, I think what separates financial fitness from other tools you might see is I'm actually providing my personal budgeting tools. So this is something that I've created for a very long time. And really, there's a monthly budget tool and there's an expense budget tool. I won't go into the fine details there, but the most important thing is that I'm giving you, something that will work. You just gotta, take initiative. And then with Budget Bootcamp, it's a 4-week process, and it's 4 weeks for a very simple reason. You gotta know the start to finish, look of a month of your cash flow. So we can get down, how much money you're bringing in, how much money you're spending, and then what you have left over. Obviously, the point of Budget Bootcamp is to build that bottom line. So what you have left over as big as possible. So, we're working through week 1 to week 4. We're using the tools, and then I'm providing a guide so you can tailor these tools to your lifestyle. And then naturally, when someone has the cash, they're ready to go, they're ready to get in the market, they want to invest, then we start talking about, hey, what's an IRA? What's a Roth IRA? What's asset allocation, risk, and benefits? I mean, that is hit. That is, you need to know what these things mean in order to start making good decisions. So we're finding cash flow, and then we're applying it with education. And that's kind of the natural journey.
Yeah, you got to master the basics, man. You got to be able to know, yeah. I mean, hey, dude, I do the same thing. Like, that's literally, you gotta take care of all the basic foundational stuff, and then you can start adding the fun layers and the flair and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're working with a client, what are you doing first? You're probably stretching. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta warm up. You gotta understand. You're not gonna like tell someone, okay, hey, we're gonna work on your squat, so let's just rack like a couple plates on here and here you go. Like, right. Good luck. It doesn't work like that. I mean, you got to build it up. So it's the same thing, and it's something that I just truthfully don't necessarily see right now in the marketplace. That's tailored for the millennial generation. I think how I'm delivering it, it's sitting a little bit better than having a 50, 60-year-old kind of tell you what to do. That ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the communication there can be different and difficult at times, for sure. So in terms of so you got this, financial fitness with Tom, you're mastering basics with folks. How would you, I guess, give me I think something that really, when I first started looking into my finances and all that, my personal journey with my finances was at first it was I had no idea what the hell it was, how to even go about it. And then I kind of went into this started watching some conspiracy stuff. I'm like, dude, I hate money. This is the worst thing ever. I just don't want anything to do with it. And then I progressed from that to I'm actually starting to understand the fundamentals of what money is and how it relates to my time and what I do and my effort. And that really started to clarify and made me more comfortable with the concept of money, versus it just being whenever I talk to folks about it, or if I get the chance to, it's always one or the other. They either love it or they hate it.
Yeah.
There's no really, or they don't know anything. They just avoid it.
Well, it's I don't, for me, it's hard to make. I mean, dude, we're busting our ass to make money. So we gotta, when it comes in, you gotta start taking care of it.
Well, and you and I are also again, it's counterintuitive to how the human brain works. Money, fitness, it's things that you don't want to do naturally.
No.
You don't want to go work out. That's literally the opposite. We're meant to store and save energy and do all this stuff and survive. You don't want to do it.
It's like I'm waking up and I'm like, man, I'm gonna put $500 into my Roth IRA today. It's like,
Yeah,
hell
like
no. I
it's
don't want to do that shit. Like I want to go out and buy something or whatever, enjoy myself. But
exactly.
it's just the same thing. If you're waking up and you're going to the gym, you literally walk out of there feeling incredible. I mean, it is. I don't care who you are. You feel better once you leave the gym than when you walk in. And the goal of taking care of your finances now is by eventually, and I swear to you, eventually, you'll get to a point where your money is working for you, and stress is going to be eliminated from yourself. When you can get to a point where your investment accounts are kicking off serious cash flow, it is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and it's not easy to get there. I mean, there's a reason why people live on Social Security. It's just that you don't want to be there, but people are there because they just didn't pay attention. There's a reason why we have severe obesity in this country, and obviously you don't want to be there, but people are there because they didn't pay attention and they just didn't give a shit. I mean, they don't care. And guess what? What does it lead to? It leads to just a poor lifestyle.
Right. And it's funny that you bring up again, man, like these fields, they mesh. They really do. They overlap so much. Like getting like stress. When you brought up stress, man, like what's the number one thing people are stressed out about? And it's always financials.
Always.
And then that stress either it hinders people from wanting to work out. They use it as an excuse. They do whatever they can. So it's just this constant. And I think and again, personally, like I said, like when you clarify and you see the big picture of like what money is and like how it can work for you and how you can invest and do all this stuff, it really does like it takes away, I guess, that excuse or that fear in some ways, whatever it is for you. I know it did for me, and it was just kind of, I don't know, man. It's weird.
Yeah, and it's like getting into the more business aspect of it. There's the more you're educated, there's ways out there that like none of us like paying tax. I mean, it's just it sucks.
Yeah.
And there's tools out there that if you are aware of how to implement, okay, I just went out, I got my own business, I'm crushing it. I'm bringing in, let's say, I don't know, $100,000 a year. So look what you can do because you understand that, hey, I'm bringing in this money. I understand my budget. I don't want to pay tax right now. I'm going to set up my own 401k, which, I'm sure if you work for a company that's offered sole proprietors, if you run your own business, you can do the exact same thing. You set up your own 401k. You can defer a whole bunch of money in there. You're not paying any tax on it. It's growing tax free. And then when you're retired and you're in a lower tax bracket than you are now, you start making distributions, paying yourself. Guess what? I mean, you just accumulated so much wealth tax free, and
Right.
now you have the ability to control your taxable income. And yeah, that sounds like second language to some people, but like the people that understand, they at least get it to a point where this is a good idea. I mean, man, you start putting tax-free dollars to work, and it's crazy. I mean,
That's good.
it's the easiest way to build wealth.
Yeah. Dude, you get me hyped up. Like I never thought in my life I'd get like hyped about like money and like talking about money. Like I said, dude, like there were like 2 years where like you ever watched what are they on Netflix? Zeitgeist or dude.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard. I feel like I've heard that. I don't know if I've watched it.
There's like 3 of them, and they're all just like Illuminati and like money and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, I hate this. I'm gonna go live in a freaking tent in the woods forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it is. It's like, it's people, and they're scared, man. And it's just like people are probably a little bit intimidated to work with, with you. It's like you're showing results, but people know that in order to get those results, I gotta sacrifice something. I mean, something's got to give in order to achieve what I want. And people get very intimidated about a change in lifestyle.
For sure. Well, and especially when they're dealing with biases, like when you think of personal trainer or like physical therapist, like what's the first thing that pops in your head? At least for a personal trainer, you think of like, dude, 80s guy and like just cut off
Gold's
and
Gym.
Gold's Gym. And then like, you have the biases of like financial, like you're talking about the snakes in the grass, like that's immediately like what you think of, like that's what we associate with. Like, dude, we don't work in easy industries.
No, man.
Especially
Well,
when you're
look,
trying
I'll
to be
tell you
honest.
what we're both doing, which I think is so awesome, and that's why you gotta love social media. It's given us the ability to put out just great educational content that people can run with and start at least making some good decisions. And I enjoy just doing that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure you can say the same.
Providing the education just to
Yeah.
dude, if I can just like provide like any sort of clarity on something to where someone has just that like aha moment, like that's all it is, man. Like,
Yeah.
right there. Like
It's being a teacher. I mean, it's like I don't think there's any better feeling than, like, for me, when I can see someone who has a serious debt problem, let's say student loans or something, and we're able to work through a situation where in a matter of 3 or 4 months, they've just absolutely crushed their goals. And because, something switched in their head where it's like, okay, I need to start taking action, and I need to start being a better person with my money. And I mean, it's just like the best feeling. And same with personal training and physical therapy and clients. If someone has a, lower back issue and they're going to a chiropractor and it's not working, and now they're, using your services, and you're able to, work out the right muscle groups, and they say to you, man, I've never felt this good in my life. I mean, that's why we do it.
exactly, man. It's it's a service industry,
Yeah.
It's you got to serve the people around you and help build other people up. And I mean, in some ways, and like it's great ways to invest in yourself too. Like that's kind of like one of the main reasons I got into this stuff was like, at least in fitness, I was like, dude, I like doing this. And then I got hurt and I was like, oh, well, I want to learn how to fix myself. So it's like investing in yourself. So, I guess it's not, I'm being a little selfish, but it's like, hey, if I can help other people feel this good, like,
Oh yeah.
on with that. But
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I get to talk to people about their budgets and what they're doing, and the other thing that's awesome is being in this business and the service industry is you're a people person, and people want to work with people in our industry because they like the individual, obviously, and they respect what they're delivering when it comes to the value, but like it comes down to, liking the individual. And I just love, being able to hear other people's stories, what they're doing in business that's making them successful, their failures that happen along the way. It just creates real conversations, and that's invaluable as well. So
right.
yeah.
Do you have any like specific, like someone could take this piece of advice and apply it, like either just like a sole proprietor, someone who has like a small business kind of deal, or even someone that has like just a regular, 9 to 5, like what's the biggest piece you got right now?
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna, 1 second. All right, I'm gonna get nerdy. I'm gonna get nerdy on us and pull this thing out. So Yeah, that's a great question. I'm happy to answer that. I think going back to, I guess what people who listen to this, they're a lot, they're 9 to 5 and probably in their own business. I would say we got a combination of both.
Yeah. I mean, I would say with my podcast, like it's been a lot geared toward, both. I have a combination of trainers and like people that are working and they are doing small business. And then I also have like potential clients and stuff like that. So
okay,
we'll edit this part out, by the way.
Yeah. Well, the people that are doing training and this is like either it could be a full time or side it's side income right now, but obviously the goal is, if you love it, to make it full time. I just want to go back again. We're talking about retirement, and the best way again is what I said to build wealth is to use retirement accounts. And retirement accounts are a way to put money that has been taxed into an account. It's going to just grow tax free, and it really adds up. So to people who the biggest takeaway right now is, let me just do this math real quick. So if you can find $500, okay, so $500, and it's $125 a week. Okay, I mean, we can do that, guys. I don't. There's something that you can sacrifice that isn't benefiting you, or we can find 125. Okay, so if you're able to do that for a very long consecutive time, call it 30 years, so we're putting $500 a month away for 30 years. Now, before I say this, because people are going to call me crazy, the S&P 500, which what that is it's the biggest 500 companies in the United States blended together. So it's literally just gives you a benchmark of the overall market. So in the past 40 years, the S&P 500 has increased over 11% every year for the past 40 years. So it's an average. It doesn't happen. It's not like 11%, 11%, 11%. It's like 20%, down 3%, up 2%, up 12%. That's how the market works. But eventually, it's a nice steady increase. So I'm going to use 9% on this math year, which is actually underneath the average of the S&P. So we're going to do a 9% rate of return. We're starting with $0. So these are people that are listening right now. We don't have anything saved. We're going to start in the month of May. We're going to do $500. Okay. You do that, just $500 for 30 years. Don't miss. Don't miss, baby. You're going to have $1.1 million. That's all it is, man. You're a millionaire. I mean, so like we can find 125 a week, put it away, invest it, go, this is money that could be pre-tax too. So that's not after tax. That's after tax is a little bit more difficult to do, but hey, if you can do that, 125, that's good for you. But that's what I'm saying, guys. It's about, and if it's just like, it's time in the market, it's investing early and often. I mean, that's the advice I would give anyone. It's not that hard. I mean, I've seen baggers at grocery stores with hundreds of thousands of dollars in their retirement account, and they're making, it's not because they're making crazy money. Obviously, they're bagging groceries, but what do? They're consistent with their savings, and they just put it away and let the market do its thing. So for the people out there who have a side business, look into what's called a solo 401k. It's really just an unbelievable tool. You can defer a shit ton of money pre-tax, actually up to $56,000 if you want. You get to those levels, and then you got a whole bunch of money down the road.
Right. But, and I've even seen like especially for like millennial generation, like that's like minimum something that you need, like of like pretty much $1 million saved up for your
You need it.
retirement. You have to have that in order to really be able to survive. And
Dude, think of this. So you get a job when you're, 21, right? 22, call it 22. Okay. And then we want to retire when we're 60? I don't know, or 65. So that's 40, 43 years, right? Yeah.
something like that.
43 years, okay, of work. And then when are we going to die? I don't know. If we're healthy, I bet a lot of us will be pushing 100 with healthcare coming here. You know what I mean? So then you're living for another at least 40. So you're trying to retire for the same amount of time as you're working. So yeah, you need to have a whole bunch saved if you want to do that. I mean, and if you even think that you're going to be banking on like Social Security, dude, you better get your shit together because
Yeah, I don't even consider it. It's not even part of the plan.
That's a thing in the past, man.
Yeah, I don't even consider it as part of my plan in the future, like with my own like budgeting. Like it's just because I know it's not gonna. It's probably who knows what the hell's gonna happen with it. Like
Yeah.
not like you said, you can't bank on it. But and I think again, man, this is why I really like just like the financial fitness like aspect, like what you're doing is just because it's again, you were talking about potentially pushing. You're gonna live for 100 years, or like till you're like 100 or something, or in the 90s. Do you also want to have like a quality lifestyle? So
Yeah.
that's both financially. You don't want to be, month to month, have your strict budget, and you're eating ramen noodles at 90. And you
Yeah.
also don't want to be super sick and consistently, having in and out of hospital, dealing with all this stuff. Like we all have, grandparents, or we've seen elderly folk that have been in these situations, and it's, take note, this, be honest with yourself. And
It, dude, you're exactly right. I mean, you want to be able to move when you're older, and in order to move, I mean, I want to be able to squat when I'm 60. I mean, I don't know, like I
yeah.
might as well. I'll give it a ride. 225. No, I mean it's like you gotta just be consistent. It's just, and I agree, and that's really like the thought of this program is it's I think for the people who have had success in the gym, they can crush the world of finance because they know what it takes. And for the
There's
people
already
that,
like discipline there, and it's just being able to tap into that same sort of discipline.
yeah,
And then I think also just for folks that may not be as disciplined to the gym or even like financials, it's like, like you said, you got fitness people who have already tapped it. They just need to tap into what they already have. And then other folks that may not have both fields covered right now, like I'm sure you have something that you're disciplined with, and it's how to take that and train it and bring it over to these other facets of your lifestyle.
and I want people to also understand, it's like a budget isn't bad at all. Working out, going to the gym is not bad at all. Think of life like this, if you could. If you were to go on a vacation and you budgeted $10,000 for it, let's just say you're going to ball out on a vacation, and you start going through the vacation, you're like, damn, I mean, I'm not even close to spending $10,000. And then all of a sudden you see something that's like, hey, it's maybe a package for two, and you want to like maybe change plans, and you have this, you were planning on spending this money because you worked for it and you budgeted for it and you put a label on that money, and it's being spent. So what does that do? I mean, it literally opens up so much freedom for you. It's not like you could come back and you could apply that money elsewhere, but like for the people that actually truly have a budget, you have it budgeted for that vacation, so spend it. I mean, and it goes for that's a more extravagant example, but like even if you're going out to dinner, you have a gift card. If you have a gift card, you're gonna freaking drain that thing. I mean, at that You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
it gives people, you love going to restaurants when someone gives you a gift card because I'm going to just get a bottle of wine or I'm going to get some dessert, whatever. And if you have a budget, it gives you so much flexibility and so much of a peace of mind because you know exactly what you can do. There is no more guessing. There is no more, I don't know if I should spend this. Okay, do you have the money budgeted? Then yes, spend it. Just like going to the gym. It's like you walk into a gym with a plan, or you should if you're not. I mean,
And if
you
you
know
don't,
it's
you probably have been jumping from bandwagon to bandwagon, falling
yep,
off, all this stuff, and
yep.
you're
I
not seeing
mean,
success.
it is. It just it correlates. I mean, and that's again, I think for the people, especially on this podcast, this audience, just know that like if you're listening to this, you're obviously you're taking the right steps with your life and fitness, and you got what it takes to really shine when it comes to being successful with your money. But you might not understand how to do it. And there's, I mean, I'm here to help. There's other people that are there to help, but you got what it takes. I mean, it's that initial drive to get it done.
You got all this free content out there now too.
Yeah,
and it's there. Like
exactly.
and it's quality. That's the thing. Like it's stuff that I wouldn't put a program out that I've never done before, that I've never seen results with.
Yep.
And then try to like,
Yeah.
like I that's just not. It's not good business, I guess.
No, it's not. Hell no, and it won't work. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
dude, the most successful businesses are things that, I mean, are just proven.
Yeah.
And that's why with like budget boot camp, I was like, when I was thinking about, at first I was like, man, should I just be giving advice? I'm like, no, I'm going to literally give people exactly what I do, and I'm going to teach them how to use it. And I'm not saying I'm a king at my budget, but I will say that I know exactly how much money I have at the start, at the beginning of the month, and how much is going where. It's very much methodically thought out.
Mm-hmm.
And being me doing this for an extended period of time, I've been able to build assets, and I'm going to continue to do it. Definitely not even close to being where I need to be now, but eventually I will. And
it is one of
the
those
math
things.
tells me I'll be good to go here. So just got to keep at it.
Right. Well, it's one of those things too. It's like, once you find one thing that works, like just keep doing it. Like just do it over and over. Like that's if it's broke, or if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of deal. That's like really how I try to look at it.
Didn't you like increase your vertical a certain amount? I remember seeing that.
Oh yeah. So I program a lot of isometric holds, specifically like a lunge position.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you do that as long as you can each leg each day. And like I added 3 inches to my vertical, so I got up to 30 inches. I like gave him a little program, and he increased his by 7 inches.
No way.
Just being consistent.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's like you said, you hold the isometric lunge, every day or whatever it is, whatever your program says,
mm-hmm.
and like it works. I mean, why? Because you're literally building your. You could go that, but I'm just gonna say you're building muscle. I don't know,
right?
But something's happening.
Got all kinds of good stuff happening.
Yeah.
So, budget boot camp looks month to month, seeing your cash flow. What do you think about these next couple months with all the uncertainty and Corona? What are you looking at month to month right now?
Well, there's two answers to that. There is, what's your goal, and then that's going to decide what I say. So for people, for that example I just give, it doesn't matter, because if it's in a retirement account, we're building that thing toward we're 60. So just keep at it. But
rain or shine.
Yeah. But a more, I guess, specific answer of what I think. This has been extremely interesting. we had a market sell-off that we've never had before. It was horrific. It happened so quick. People were shitting their pants, but it's called kind of like a V-shaped recovery. So we started here, it dropped, and now we're probably about like right here. It happened very quickly, and we're still in that recovery phase. But the thing that is helping out the market is people can remember 2008. The Federal Reserve is kind of like the king when it comes to holding the economy, the world economy up. And just like anyone who people learn from their mistakes. 2008 was a horrible mistake by not only our banks. I'm sure you guys have maybe watched The Big Short, but like the Federal Reserve did not act quick enough. Okay, like there was a bailout, but it just didn't happen quick enough. With this coronavirus, they are going all in so quick. So the stimulus checks that people received and all these loans that are available that are forgiven, and there's all these other things, I won't bore you, but like there's so much money that was just thrown into the economy by our government that it kind of acted like a backstop. And I truly believe that we're going to come out of this because of all that stimulus, potentially, much more stronger than we were before. And it's going to come down to, maybe you'll start seeing it when gyms open up. I mean, or people are going to be afraid to get close to each other. We're going to have to see how individuals react to when things open back up. But if we can get back to some sort of normality, I really truly think that it looks good. I mean, I think there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, even with just from a personal finance standpoint, having a stimulus check, that's $1,200 that people got extra on a month, or that they may have never even had in their savings at one point. So that acts as a buffer that de-stresses people. That helps a lot. And then you look at all the money that was given to corporations, like you're saying, all that money that's out there for small businesses, they can stay afloat even without as much or any income. So when you come back from all this,
and I'm curious there. When we kind of talked about it before this, I'm curious to how the world looks after. I think that online businesses like what we're doing are obviously becoming more popular, but like just running your business virtually is in the type of companies that might be established, new leaders that will start to pop up. Companies that were created in 2008, Uber, Lyft, Snap, things that you see every day now. What are the companies going to be like after this? I don't know, but like something will happen.
Esports.
It is. It's like, I don't know. It's just, we're going to go into a whole different type of era, I think.
Do you follow any of the esports, or not esports, like just online gaming stuff?
Yeah. That's crazy.
They had a motocross. My buddy's really big into motocross racing, and a bunch of the racers were just playing as themselves or one of their buddies online, and had millions of people watching them play video games.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Yeah, there's all kinds. I mean, in like the gaming industry by itself has, I think it's gone up. I don't know how many percentage points, but it's one of those that continuously goes up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
And then you're put in a situation like this where no one can leave their house, and there's no like actual sports. Like we had the NFL draft, but
the Last Dance documentary, that's going to be like the most watched documentary ever, because like everyone's just like, give me sports,
right?
And you get to watch Michael Jordan. But no, this is not like a stock tip, so don't take any advice from this, but it's just what has happened. With what you said, no one's leaving home. I mean, there's a company called Teladoc. You can publicly traded, has just exploded in value. from all this. I mean, has gone from $70 a share to $180 a share in this year. So but that's because, is that a long-term success story? I don't know, but I think what they're doing is spot on. I mean, you can tune into a physical therapist, you can tune in to your doctor online. Now, obviously, there's certain things that you got to be hands-on with, but like if we can eliminate just the old, little checkup that you go and on the scale and they check your ears out and you're done. I mean,
you just sit there on the table awkwardly.
Yeah.
While they
Waste my time. Yeah. So,
right.
Well, that's just
that's what Portal PT is. It's an online physical therapy service where, I mean, everyone's heard this like 1,000 times if you're listening to this, but it's the same thing. It's all just online, and there's other clinics that are now doing an online approach, and they had to integrate your typical mom and pop physical therapy gym or clinic. They had to shut down during all this. Like, they can't put their hands on people. They can't do anything. And now they all have a online branch of telehealth or remote, training and physical therapy that they'll have forever now. And they can if they want, if they don't want to. That's really, it's a whole nother option and potential income stream for people doing this type of.
It is. And it's, I think, we spoke about it earlier, and I like to bring it up a little bit. Like what we're doing is so incredible because we have the ability to deliver advice and deliver education. And we're putting in the work behind the scenes, but like the cost of doing all of this, there's a lot of sweat equity. But like, I don't need to rent out an office space, and I don't need to, have a fancy desk and all of this. Like, I just need my camera here. I need my brain, and I need Instagram and whatever social media outlet that we want to deliver on. And I think the ingenuity and just it's the start to potentially a new era that everyone should be capitalizing on. There's always people that are wanting to learn, and Portal PT was spot on with, I think, the physical therapy aspect of it. Teledoc's kind of more of the medical professional, but everyone that's out there hustling and trying to deliver what they know best to the public, I just think it's awesome to see.
Yeah, everyone's getting creative. Under times of stress like this, people get creative and they make awesome, interesting things that can change up people's lives.
Yeah.
Like you said, Uber, all that, like
crazy. Everything. Who knows what's coming, man? I'm telling you, something's gonna happen.
You remember the first Uber you took? Do you remember calling it?
Yeah, I do actually, because it was the night before Thanksgiving, and I remember I was like, wait, I can literally stay at the bar and drink and watch my cab come and pick me up.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good. Sign me up, man.
My first one, it was this weird point because I had just turned 21. So I had taken a cab maybe 2 or 3 times, but most of the time we would just walk from university.
Yeah.
All the way up, back in Lexington. And it was that summer. And they gave out all the free Uber rides.
Oh, yeah.
We had them for 2 weeks of free rides, and we would just share the codes. And just some random dude comes and picks you up, and you're like,
it's crazy.
All right, man. And now it's like I couldn't imagine ever taking a cab or.
It's convenience. Which I think is a good and a bad thing. Like our prior conversation, I think people want that instant gratification when it comes to, the results in the gym, because they're used to being able to press a button and the cab come picks them up. You can press a button and get your groceries delivered now, but it's same thing with going again back to, being better with your finances. There is nothing easy about it. And that's what we're trying to do here, is just give people the tools, and really just make sure there's no doubt about it, that at the end of the 4 weeks, if you decide to do like a budget boot camp or a hit, I mean, you'll be ready to rock, because it's just when you sign up, you're ready to go. You're not gonna like sign up and give it a half-ass thing. That's just not how it works. Even if you're, with anything, if someone's signing up for you, I mean, they're ready to make change. So,
and I think this is like a really good opportunity as well. Like if you can figure out how to find extra cash right now, if you maybe don't have a job or you're working reduced hours and you're still putting cash away, then how much more can you put in toward that when all this is over? How
yeah,
much better can your plan be when this, because it will go away.
yeah,
So and that's what I've been doing with my clients too. I'm saying, hey, I'm not going to program you something that's truly going to add a ton of muscle mass right now, or anything specific to gym related equipment. Instead, let's focus on this. Let's get your structure sitting well. Let's your posture, whatever it is. Let's keep what you got and then prepare for when this ends and
yeah.
you're ready to go.
It's a great point. No, I think, and it's like I was thinking about life now, and it's like, is this? I kind of forget what life is like. Outside of this, I've been such a minimalist, which has been good with my budget. Um, it's so easy right now because I'm sitting at home. But going back to the workout, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been doing home, little home workouts. I've done so many damn burpees. I don't think I'm ever gonna do a fucking burpee after this. I'm done with burpees. But it's like I've actually lost weight during the quarantine, which has been kind of interesting. I wish I would have took like a before and after. I just didn't know it was gonna be this extended. But I feel like I think my strength is still there, but I've lost weight because I've been able to, know exactly what I'm going to eat. I've been doing actually like an extended fast, and that's because I've been just working from home and I can just kind of pop in the kitchen whenever I want. And I've just been strict with it, and I've been doing body weight movements, and I don't know, it's kind of been nice to just kind of focus on the fundamentals. And I was kind of shocked that I've lost like 6 pounds.
There you
It's
go.
crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, it really, like, it's simple. That's the thing. And from anyone listening to this, like, simple doesn't sell a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like, if you really make it super simple, it just doesn't. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We just like the flair and all that. But consistency, like you said, just having your diet right and then moving, honestly, just move more and you're going to see some sort of result toward your goal. Or, I mean, I've been focusing more on plyometrics and sprints, and I probably haven't been this fast since senior year of high school when I was running track.
Yeah.
So it's crazy the
Yeah. I
results.
love following what you have to say, man. I mean, I think I just relate personally because I went from just going into the gym, like doing lifts, not really having any like understanding, to seeing people like what you post. And now like I know exactly like what muscles I have to engage when I lift. I mean, it's one thing that like when you're benching or doing a push up to just like, boom, pop it out. But it's like if you can control everything, keep your muscles under tension, flexing your abdominal core, everything just starts to build. And when you're doing those sprints and stuff, I mean, that's just such great, it's basic. You're just sprinting, but it's just great leg workouts.
Man,
Work out the
there's a
knees.
study that was done, and for you to truly propel yourself forward in a sprint, you have to put 9 times your body weight, like a force, through one leg at a time. Like you can't recreate that in a gym. Like
No,
you
no.
can't. So, and there's times like you're talking when we do want to control the movements, we want to feel everything, but also those are for your specific days. And then the other days, you're probably not like we're moving weight. You're sprinting, you're going all out. And that's
Mm,
not the control isn't the focus. The control
mm,
is on these days, that's there for you to make this stuff better, essentially. Your
mm.
max lift, your whatever it is, your strength, your sprint, your sport. So
Yeah.
you don't have to think about that when you're doing it. And
Yep.
I think that's what a lot of people forget about. It's control what you can control over here and then ball out when you when it's time
Yeah.
to ball out.
It is. It's like and again, I mean, simplicity is boring, but I swear it's ever since I started to just focus on the simple movements. I love lunging. I mean, it's by far my favorite lift. I mean, there is no by the trade the squat. Squat. If squat, deadlift, or lunging, probably my top three
Probably
favorite
need
movements. I'm picking lunge. I mean, all day. I love it. It's like you can just like you do I don't know, it works everything out and it's so simple. And if you want to, kill yourself, go lunge distance. I mean, seriously, go try to lunge one lap around the track. You'll die.
Yeah, I saw you do
And
that workout, and I was like, no, I don't even want to
dude,
do that.
it is so brutal. You
Yeah.
could not walk afterwards.
Oh,
Oh, it is horrible. But it's good. I don't know. I like it.
yeah, man. Hey, again, you do something. It's simple. You just do it consistently. That's the
Yeah.
whole. If there's anything anyone gets from this, just be consistent. Keep it
Just
simple.
be
Like,
consistent.
and
Yeah,
master the basics, man. All right, man.
exactly.
Let's go into these last two questions here, and then we'll kind of call it here at
Yeah.
the 30 mark. So you don't have to answer this one. This was an idea. What's your most embarrassing workout story?
Oh man. I definitely
I'll
got
share
one.
mine after.
Oh dude, I got one. So this is again going back to before I like had any idea what I was doing in the gym. I just was, would just hop on a machine and let it rip. So I moved to St. Louis after school and knew nobody. I got a job up there and wanted to join my local gym. And I'm like took some I'm like ready to go. First day in there, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna just get some legs in. And I went to the Smith machine, the
Mm-hmm.
track bar. And I was like gonna like lean back, kind of pushing on the bar. I don't do this anymore, but I used to like love doing that for just like quad kind of workout.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put a shit ton of weight on there because people around me. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna make a statement here. And I go down, and it really wasn't my fault, but I was so embarrassed. The damn gym didn't have the Smith machine drilled down to the floor.
No.
So
What?
I go and the thing slides out, the bar comes over me, and I'm literally stuck like luckily the safety thing was there, but I'm stuck. I cannot move. So I'm like, it's my first lift. I'm screaming like, hey, someone help me, someone help me. And like, dude, I was like, I think I gotta go sign up for a different gym after this.
Oh, dude,
It's
that's
like, it's so embarrassing.
new
Oh,
city, new
man.
you.
Just like I was just like folded like a pancake. I couldn't move.
God.
I was like, but yeah, they should have nailed that damn thing down.
That's man, you're lucky no one was filming. That's
Oh
kind of
God.
stuff you'd see online. Uh, dude, when I was at Campus Rec at UK,
Yeah.
man, I went in there, same thing, took some pre-workout. I'm like tunnel vision. And some guy like left 315 on the squat rack over there.
Oh man.
And so I'm not even thinking. I'm just like focused, And I pull all three plates off of one side. And so the whole bar goes flying across the gym because
Oh
it like
damn.
tips over and it like makes this loud crash. I'm like, oh my God. So I like pick it
Yeah.
up and the little guy, the guys who like walk around with the little
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bag, the like lifeguards of the gym there come over, make sure I'm
Yeah.
okay. I then get it all set up. And
Oh,
then
that's awesome.
it gets
Is
better.
there, uh,
After that, I'm all embarrassed. Still tunnel vision. It's itchy because it's C4 days.
Oh yeah.
And then I get it loaded up and I stand up and smack the top of my head on the squat rack bar. And
He's got called quits.
dude, I left.
Oh.
These girls are over on the deadlift platform and they were just like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like,
Yeah.
"I'm fine." I just left it.
Oh my God. That's awesome, man.
It was bad. But
It happens.
it's
It
pre-workout.
happens.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Blame it on the C4.
Right. That's too much caffeine for me.
Oh
All right,
man.
man. What's the worst advice you've ever received?
I think I think, and I'm sure everyone here knows this, but that lifting heavy like results in bulkiness. That is, I don't know, maybe you have a different opinion, but I'll say mine. Man, when I want to get cut and look jacked, I'm doing heavy ass reps or heavy ass movements with low rep, and then I move right into like a kind of like a hit, like kind of like a little, you know. So I'm going heavy, and then I'll do like some push-ups or burpees or whatever right after that. But just like the fact of like we're trying to get cut, like you got to do like high rep, low weight, just ridiculous. If you want to get, you know, you want to get abs, freaking deadlift and squat a lot. And that's what works for me.
You just got to be strong. You got to get strong, man. You got to move. You got to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
It all adds to it. Well, man, dude, thank you for doing this. I'm
Yeah,
excited
man,
to
it's
get
been a
this
blast.
posted. We'll go ahead. We'll cut the recording off, and we'll go there from there, man. I appreciate you
Cool.
doing this.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's
So,
been awesome.
oh, hey, tell me, where can we find you?
Yeah.
What's your info?
Yeah, so financialfitnesswithtom.com kind of rhymes. So remember that. And then my Instagram handle is just financial fitness with Tom. And guys, you'll get a lot out of it. It's I'm always posting just straight facts. So things that people aren't thinking about. There's not a lot of personal finance Instagrams out there to my knowledge. So just trying to deliver posts that people can take and immediately take action on. And it's been fun. But yeah, financial fitness with Tom is where you can find me on Instagram.
Nice, man. Dude, I look forward. You're doing those live videos, and I like those. I like tuned in the other day, and I was like, oh, damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're putting out quality content, though. But,
oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone should check out Tom. And, yeah, we'll have to bring you on here next time.
Yeah.